Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is IT Smart and I'm glad to have you all around today. So today we're going to be looking at secondary sources as a classification of information sources under information literacy. So what are secondary sources? Secondary sources are sources that interpret, analyze and summarize primary sources. In that previous video we had looked at primary sources as first-hand evidence that show a time of an event, or that are directed by someone who experienced an event. So just like primary sources, secondary sources have examples. For example, books. Historical books. What are historical books? These are just books that analyze specific historical information. For example, most of us have gone through the low levels of learning where we've looked at the World War II, stuff like that. So biographies are also books that are examples of what? Secondary sources. So these biographies actually, they interpret the individual's information based on the primary source. Journal articles. They are articles that critique or analyze primary data. So under journal articles, we can also look at literature reviews. And these literature reviews, we shall look more into them when we're looking at citations in our next videos. So documentaries are just like videos, films that show historical events that occurred. We have encyclopedias, we have essays and reviews. So just like primary sources, secondary sources have characteristics. For example, interpretative. When we're looking at interpretative, what does this mean? It means they involve some level of analysis, synthesis, or evaluation of primary sources. They explain or critique the primary source that it represents. Evaluative. Secondary sources are evaluative in the sense that they offer opinions or assessments based on evidence that may be drawn from the primary source. Secondary sources summarize. They provide a summary. They summarize information, often to explain the concept or connect various primary sources. Secondary sources are also contextual. Contextual in this way that they help to frame or contextualize primary data within broader trends, movements, or histories. So, secondary sources have a role in that they help scholars interpret primary data by providing existing frameworks, theories, and methodologies. So, just like primary sources, secondary sources have pros and cons. Pros and cons are like advantages and disadvantages. So, pros. They provide critical analysis and comprehensive overviews. They help connect the dots between different pieces of primary evidence. They are easier to access and understand than the raw primary data. So under cons, they can introduce misinterpretations or biases. They are seconded accounts, so they lack immediacy and authenticity of primary sources. So, in conclusion, secondary sources interpret and analyze the primary sources, offering broader context, critique, or synthesis of the information. So that was it for today. I hope most of you have picked a leaf or even a tree from this, because that was all about the secondary sources. Till next time, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.